Hello and welcome, one and all. We are back with Undead Unluck. Another week, another glorious chapter. I'm here with chapter 195. We're getting pretty close to that big 205 more weeks. But yeah, this chapter is simply entitled On Your Mark. And are you ready? Set, go. Let's get right into it. Alright, so this chapter starts off with a little flashback. Keeps it's a bit of a recurring theme in this little arc, a little flashback between Haruka and Top, seeing how their relationships like start forming. And yeah, Haruka is making shoes for Top, and they are unbreakable shoes. So I think it was in chapter 193 last time. Fuka pointed out that Haruka's been there helping Top. I initially thought he just didn't know the Unbreakable was on his shoes, but it looks like he did know, and he just wasn't acknowledging the fact that Haruka was there for him. And yeah, she's been helping him out all this time. It seems Haruka's just been, she's a shoemaker, like a, what do you call them? Like a clover tailor? Yeah, she's a tailor or something in Top's hometown now in this loop. So it seems she told Top she has the power of Unbreakable, and he's asking if she has such a great ability, why is she just making shoes? Yeah, this kind of implies she just makes shoes, then she's just a shoemaker in this town. And he's like, yo, your parents used to be a blacksmith, why are you just making shoes? Haruka responds with, they're not in the time of war at the moment, so there's no need for weapons and armor at the moment. So she just wants to make things to support and protect people's lives, which is kind of cool. Imagine if you had some clean pair of shoes and they were just never, they're unbreakable. I don't know if unbreakable means they stay in pristine condition all the time. I guess that's what it would mean, because there's no like wear and tear on them. So you got some nice J's, make them unbreakable, bro. They're crispy clean all the time. I guess you still gotta clean them if you got some mud on them and stuff, but yeah, that's a pretty nice little handy ability, not gonna lie, bro. If you got some cool kicks, yeah, man. Top also makes a joke which could be seen as a bit of foreshadowing for what happens later on in this chapter. He talks about how she might be a target for bad guys because, like, if she got caught, they might force her to make really powerful weapons for her for the rest of her life. It's played off as like a bit of a joke, and Haruka just says, "Stop saying things that'll make me scared." And yeah, that's where the flashback ends. Now we go back to the present, and we pick up where we left off last time, with Fuko announcing who's going to be part of the neutralization quest, and Top landing that heavy kick on the Beast Rule. Top makes an interesting plea, kind of like what I was alluding to last time with the Beast not following them into the city. He's talking about, we won't encroach on your turf anymore. Let's follow the rules of the beast. He's trying to say in his own terms, in his own like perception of the rule, that they won't encroach on his turf anymore. So if we leave you alone, you leave us alone, and we're all cool. But they're not cool at all. Beast lets him know his talk of trying to coexist means nothing to him. He lets him know that Beast, they were just born to make humans suffer. Beast taunts Top and tells him, "You don't know anything at all, do you?" He's saying, "Don't get it confused. You're not a product of nature." And Top's confused by this. He said, "Weren't we all born from nature, the ocean?" And Beast lands a pretty sick lore drop on us. He tells us that the world began with only man and the earth. And we see like the creation of the earth in this like loop, or in this world, in this like the loops that's been happening. It's just like earth like in its initial form, all crusty. There's no water. It doesn't look like there's any water there, but there's just a bunch of souls. And so Beast goes on to explain that God created the earth and put the human souls on there. Then he added rules just to torment and observe the human souls, I guess. Beast also says that the purpose of this was to achieve his goal. I'm assuming he means God's goal of finding the greatest life, which is interesting. How is causing torment and suffering a way of finding out the greatest life? It's confusing to me. We'll probably dive deeper into that at a later point in the story, but yeah, I'm not sure what he means by that. Beast then goes on to explain the addition of more rules, like adding death rule instilled panic, adding change rule instilled jealousy, allotting the luck rule incited rash behavior, justice incited conflict, and then war created mass slaughtering. And after a while, God got tired of people quarreling over themselves, so he added the beast rule. So the beast could just be there to make them suffer more. All the animals on this planet was there to create harm to all the humans, basically. And he finally says, there isn't a single rule that has been created to aid these guys in their survival. Which makes sense why all the negators are fighting against God. All the ones that reverse the rules, are against the rules, are fighting against God, because these rules are against them. So obviously you need the opposite to fight against them. And real quick, an interesting thing here is, like I was trying to figure out back in my review of chapter 191 and 192, like what the master rules are. I think Beast basically gives us what the master rules are. So basically, the world started off with souls. So number one rule is soul. Then it added death. So the one I thought that was religion is actually death. Then change. We know number three was change. Number four, I think that's the one with the wheel on his head. That's actually luck. Then justice, which I thought was like chivalry or something. I should have thought he was justice. Or maybe I did say it was justice. I'll have to look back. But yeah, he's number five is justice, the one with the armor. Then I think I guessed correctly. Number six is war. I think that was the one that looked like a zombie and did the genocide weapons. I thought he could be death or war. Looks like he used war. He doesn't specifically mention time, but he said God grew weary of watching people quarrel. So I think in that getting weary implies that was when time was added. Then yeah, time was 7. Then next would be 8, which is beast, and he clearly said yeah, beast rule is number 8, and we already know language 9 and sick is 10. So I guess he created language after that so they can understand each other's suffering or something like that. Sick is an obvious one why that will cause suffering and torment. So yeah, I think yeah, that's the breakdown of the master rule tables. Now back into the chapter, we see some tigers just suddenly jump out of the forest, and they're talking about how there shouldn't be any tigers in this area. But Beast revealed that because of all those penalties they racked up by skipping the quest, that increased the number of brethrens that he has. So there's, I guess it's just a bunch more beasts out there that wouldn't typically be there. So yeah, these tigers kind of attack. Haruka snatches a bit off her, I guess, because in the panel below we can see that the tiger gives that bit of Haruka to the beast rule, and we see him chewing on it. And we'll get to what that does a bit later on in the chapter. Fuko takes a shot at him with one of her bad bullets and announces to Top that a meteorite's going to be on its way soon, so he needs to get out the way. Suddenly, Beast just grabs her by the face, and now he's wearing a full plate of armor. And he lets Fuko know the bad bullet didn't touch him. And on the next page we see Unbreakable. And I like how they did the Unbreakable tag with the scratch marks in it to symbolize it's the Beast's Unbreakable version. Yeah, so it's not just animals, just whatever he eats, he can assimilate into him and get that power, which is pretty insane. So now he has Unbreakable armor. That begs the question, can he have multiple negate abilities at once? Because that would be pretty broken. I was going to say it could be like Billy, he can only switch between one and a few between, but that's for a negator, and God doesn't fuck with negators. God fucks with these rules that he created. He might put no limit on things like that for him. He goes on to say that Unbreakable is actually the negator ability that he wanted the most, and now with it he can reclaim the era when Beast just used to lay waste to humans. And he says, because of he now has Unbreakable, he's made him the strongest ruler around. But I don't really see that, because, like, what if he ate undead? Then he could have an undying body, and he wouldn't be able to die. Unbreakable gives you incredible armor, but as you can see, he still has holes in that armor. There's still parts of him that is not blocked with the Unbreakable armor, unless he can extend it more. But I don't know, I feel like undead would be an even better defense boost for him, because if he's undead then nothing really harms it. Nothing harms him then. But I guess with undead you can still get trapped with how Gina can trap him in the unchanged air. So yeah, I guess Unbreakable is pretty powerful, but I doubt that's enough to make him the strongest ruler around. Like Soul could probably still attack him with soul power and stuff. So like I said, I think he's more of the bronze over brains kind of rule, so yeah. But it could also be a case that it has to be an external type rule he has to copy, like a self-targeting type rule wouldn't work. So yeah, maybe that's the restriction. He wouldn't be able to get undead in that case. Julia gets up and tells Top he needs to run, and she'll try and hold him off, but Top suddenly just says that it's enough, and he looks like he's given up, and he's begging Beast to just let them off the hook. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention as well, Fuko's just been grabbed by the face by Beast with this Unbreakable armor, and he's just standing over all of them with Fuko just in hand. But yeah, anyway, Top goes into reminiscing about what we saw at the start of the chapter when he was saying, well, if someone came and took Haruka for her ability. But yeah, Top remembers that he says to her, I'll just kick the crap out of whoever tries to take your Unbreakable. So then whilst he's kneeling on the ground begging, pleading to Unbreakable to just let them off the hook, he just goes, psych! And And yeah, Haruka's like unbreakable helmet is right behind him, so he just like does a real quick spin move flip thing and just like headbutt straight into Beast. And he goes, Haruka's unbreakable versus Beast is unbreakable. They're about to see which one's stronger. And yeah, that's where the chapter ends. So yeah, this is going to be really interesting to see. Will one of the Unbreakables actually break? I feel like maybe because Beast is a copy, that it's not actually as strong. Maybe he has a stamina reserve to like run out, and when the stamina reserve runs out, then the Unbreakable will perish. But yeah, we never know. Or like I said, he's not like fully covered. They could like snipe him real quick. Like Fuga could snipe him with a bad bullet and actually make physical contact with him. So yeah, we'll see how this battle goes. We still got Dewey's there, Injustice might make him do something he doesn't want to do. Yeah, this will be an interesting fight. I can't wait to see. Like, I know with these Undead Unluck fights, there's gonna be some kind of interesting way they're gonna end. It's kind of similar to Hunter x Hunter. It's not gonna be the bog standard ending. Usually, it's gonna have a nice, intricate like plan or something special happen so that we can get the win on this. But yeah, that's been my review of Undead Unluck chapter 195. I'll catch you next week for chapter 196. Then we'll be 4 chapters off 200. Alright, see you later.